Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Magehammer's Game Table. Tonight I am playtesting / playing my another homebrew role-playing game of my design called 6 Dice Wastelands. It basically uses the same kind of mechanic that my 6 Dice fantasy game uses, with obviously some alterations, and you'll be seeing those as we go through. So as far as this being a playtest, if you feel the need to give me some advice or see how things go, or you're going to hear me talk about what I need to change, stuff like that, hopefully that's of interest to you. And this is going to be a little different than some of my other ventures because of the nature of how I'm going to randomize things. I have purchased Starfinder tiles. I'm probably going to get a lot of glare on these. I haven't really tried it out on camera, so we're all going to be kind of doing that together. I'm going to randomly pull a tile when it calls for it, and then we're going to go from there. My heroes tonight are a mutated animal. Her name is Kathmandu. She is a mutated cat. And then I have a mutant, Chlormok. He has a nice big primitive warhammer, and he also has Hands of Power mutation and telekinesis mutations. She has keen senses, toxin resistance, and infravision. And then I have a human, and just like in 6 Dice Fantasy, they don't really have any extra special abilities except they get an extra die of character creation, but no attribute may be over 3D. So this is Cherry Red. She is wielding a pistol, and she has a battle axe on her back, though you can't see it on that mini. These are just, best representation I could do. Chlormok has a warhammer, as you saw. He's wearing a Kevlar vest, and Kathmandu has a light crossbow, a short sword, and has scrap armor on. And those all, translate to different statistics in the game. I believe I'm going to have the orange dice be Kathmandu, the red translucents be Chlormok, and the yellow and gold, black and yellow be Cherry Red. Don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. There's no real rhyme, no reason. I mean, these should be Cherry Red. Maybe I'll do that. She'll be Cherry Red, and Chlormok will be yellow and black. I guess that makes more sense. Okay. Stamina is a little higher in 6 Dice Wastelands. In my preliminary playtesting, things are a little deadlier with mutations added into the mix, as well as high-tech weapons, which hit better and have better chance of scoring successes on successful attacks. So I've increased the stamina to base 9 and add plus the number of strength dice. So for example, Kathmandu has a strength of 2, so Kathmandu has 11 stamina to begin the game. In 6 Dice Fantasy, it's base 6 plus strength dice. I am the second role-playing game I ever really played was Gamma World, and it has captured my imagination for pretty much my entire life. I have every version of Gamma World except for the one based on 4th edition D&D. Just didn't appeal to me at the time. I have Metamorphosis Alpha back to Kickstarter, the recent one. In fact, I used their mutations as a massive base for my system because lo and behold, it uses D6s and it kind of fit right in with my 6 dice system. So I was like, well, I'm going to borrow their mutations, tweak them to fit my system. So shout out to Jamie Chambers, I think it is, and of course James M. Ward for creating the first Metamorphosis Alpha. I've got Darwin's World. I've got something called Omega World in an old dungeon magazine. I have Mutant Future. I've got so many different post-apocalyptic games. Of course, Tiny Wastelands for the Tiny D6 system. So that's in fact, I even have a fan-made edition of Gamma World and ran an entire campaign called Gamma 5. And I've been using that creature codex that the person who designed that I think you can find it on Wayback Machine. Look up Gamma 5, do an internet search. You might be able to find it. It's based on the 5th edition rule set, and I ran a whole campaign with it for my D&D group, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm using his bestiary, his Gamma 5 bestiary, to create the creatures, because he basically ported all the old Gamma World creatures into 5th edition. So that gives me a little bit more of a modern take on them for putting them into my system. I am not even halfway through that, but I have enough to be able to run this game for you and maybe these subsequent episodes. So that's a little bit of background. That's a little bit of what I'm doing here. So tonight I am going to run a semi-randomized adventure, just like my other ones. You know, I start out with a storyline, and then I go randomly to see how it all happens. Move my character sheet over here, and get my rules out of the way. All right, so the story is this. The characters live in a village. The village was created in a crater, and the crater wasn't created by radiation bomb. It was created by more conventional bombs, but they were huge. And their village is pretty much set up in that massive crater and has been their home for several generations. And the children in this village have to go on a rite of passage. Sound familiar? If any old school Gamma World folks out there know what I'm talking about, the usual rite of passage thing was 2nd edition Gamma World was the introductory adventure. Anyway, so I'm kind of stealing that idea, but then we'll see where it goes. So they have to go on the rite of passage into any of the nearby ruins, because this crater that they live in is surrounded by ruins, which technically is where, over the years, people have gotten a lot of resources. That's how one of them started with a Kevlar vest. That's how one started with a pistol, because they've been handed down through generations of people who've gone on the rites of passage into the ruins nearby. There's many of them peppering the entire countryside near them. And they've come back, and many have not come back, of course. And those that come back become the staunch defenders of the village. And that's how the village has been able to survive in this hostile environment for as long as it has. Well, it's our characters' turn to go out into the world, investigate any nearby ruins that they stumble upon, and make their way back with at least one relic each of the ancients. That is their requirement. Now, we'll see how that plays out with my time on this video, especially with all the introductory material. And, you know, maybe this will be a to be continued. We'll see. I also, for loot and stuff, some of the best I've got is this. I got my 4th edition Gamma World rules here. It is the original. It's not one of the reprints off of Drive-Thru-RPG. You can get them off of our Drive-Thru-RPG, though. You can get a print copy. I hear the quality is really excellent. But I'm going to be using this for my random loot and so forth. And they have the old, you know, kind of like this was basically based on 2nd edition D&D, where it was like 1st edition D&D, but then it was like a training ground for a lot of the rules they came out with in 2nd edition D&D. Anyway, so they have loot table like they do in the Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, and in the current Castles and Crusades rule set. So I'm going to be using that for loot when I roll it randomly. I have converted several, you know, the first part of the alphabet pretty much through a robot in there. First part of the alphabet, for the most part, I have converted from the Gamma 5 rules into my world. So I'm obviously standing on the shoulders of giants with this one. James M. Ward, of course. It's a massive inspiration to me. Bruce Nesmith is the one who came out with the 4th edition rules that just capture my imagination. And, you know, the art from the splash page of the 1st edition. I have the 1st edition over in my library, but I had to borrow the art from that. I borrowed art from more modern post-apocalyptic games like Mutant Call Classics and so forth for the rules, you know, peppering it through just for fun to look at. So without further ado, let's send our characters out on their rite of passage. So they're going to head out into the wilderness. I've decided they are going to have 3 random encounters, and then they're going to roll to see if they've stumbled upon a ruin. If they haven't, then they'll have another 3 random encounters out in the wilderness. So there's lots of things floating around in the wilderness out there that are ready to harm you. So based on the critters that I have so far statted out. So without further ado, we'll send them out. Now, I'm going to roll 3 times for encounters. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to have 3 encounters. I'm going to have encounters happen on 1s on a d6. So we'll be rolling that. And the first hour or so of their journey, nothing. Second hour, nothing. Third hour, yes, they have an encounter. So I have roughly statted out some creatures, and I randomly assigned some numbers. So 15. So what are our heroes going to stagger upon next? Oh my goodness. Let's see how many there are. Let's make one. No, let's go. Just one big one. Let's start with one and see how it goes, because the combat system can be quite deadly. So this is a Gallus Enforcer. It's a huge walking chicken. Those of you that are familiar, I think it's the module Famine and Fargo. I think they are refugees from a old chicken factory that happened before the fall. And so they became mutated, and then they found out that humans, the point of that factory was to create chickens so that humans could eat it. So they've gone through generations hating humans of any kind. Anything that is not a chicken, they want to kill. So this massive chicken comes bashing through the woods, and they stand apart from each other. It's making a lot of noise, so the characters are going to hide to see if they can avoid it. Hiding stealth checks involve agility, but they're in scrap armor. The Kevlar vest, so Clormok is going to make the agility test as 4+, but Cherry Red with a chain shirt and a shield, and Kathmandu with scrap armor, they're going to make theirs on 5s. So agility for Cherry Red is 2 dice. Agility for Clormok is 2 dice. And agility for Kathmandu is 3 dice. So they need to get a... So Clormok needs a 4 or higher to hide, and he does. He goes into the brush off to the side of the trail they're following and is getting ready to ambush. Oh, that was Cherry Red. Cherry Red is doing that. Clormok... Also, he gets a 6. He's doing it. Cherry Red needed a 5. I think she rolled double 4, so she did not successfully go into the brush quietly, but Clormok did. And then Kathmandu on a 5+ gets a 5, so she also slinks into the brush. But it's too late. The Gallus Enforcer has sensed them and is charging towards poor Cherry Red, who did not make it into the brush without any noise. So we're going to roll initiative. 2 dice, 2 dice, and 3 dice. As in 6 Dice Fantasy, 4+, they go before the creature. If they don't have 4+, they go after. Looks like everybody rolled before the creature, so that's good. So it's starting to move towards them. They've rolled initiative. And Cherry Red takes aim with her pistol and fires off a shot from behind her shield. With her pistol, she gets 4d. She has agility of 2, plus the pistol is a medium weapon, so 2 dice. Hitting on 4s. And she gets 1 strike. The Gallus has a pretty decent defense. It has medium armor. It's wearing armor, so it is going to roll 4 dice, looking for a 4-up to negate. Yes, no problem. Negates that shot from the pistol, so it flies awry. Then we have, that was Cherry Red. Clormok is going to fire off Hands of Power. His Hands of Power, it says Force Power. I don't think that's one of the energies I wanted to use. Yeah, I'm just going to use that. That's a Force energy. Because you choose the energy when you create the mutation. So it could be, the usual cold, heat, lightning, whatever. He's decided on Force, so that's what he's going to use. Now, it is an agility test plus his mutation power. So that is, so that's a 60 attack test. Because he has 4d in it and gets that as agility to this. So that's 6 dice. Hitting on... Oh, let me double check and make sure. Sometimes with energy attacks, they get its extra success on 5. Yeah. Oh, energies hit on 3s, so all of them hit, and they scored additional successes on 4 pluses. So that's a decent amount of successes. See how much extra deadly this is from a mutation. But remember, this is playtesting. Maybe this is too powerful. I don't know. We'll find out. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 shot from his hand of power at the creature. Because it's an attack, it does get its defense. And as we stated, it's a 4 defense. And it needs, oh my goodness, the 4s are higher, and it did not get any. So it takes 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, which is not enough to bring it down. But it is it's like crack some ribs, I guess, with force blasts, right? So that was his action. And that brings us to Kathmandu. Now, cats and chickens don't really get along very well. Natural prey and all that before the fall. But she's going to fire off her crossbow, because she really doesn't want to get close to this thing, because it's tall. It's like close to 9 feet tall. She fires off, hitting on 4s. No good. You get 1 success. And it just pings off of the creature's armor and no damage. Now it bears down on Cherry Red, and does it have... Do I give him weapons? It has twin machetes, so it slashes at her with its twin machetes. So here we go. So 6s as usual are 2 successes. 2, 3, 4 successes. The Cherry Red has to defend against behind her shield and her chain shirt. So her defense, chain shirt, is 5D. She gets a 5D total with her agility and the chain shirt. She's trying to eliminate 4 successes, and she gets them. She needs 4s. She gets 4, so she negates. So she catches the attack on her shield, and the creature, is not. The twin machetes spark off of her stop sign shield. All right, so they all attacked. Now we go to initiative again. And now they're in the middle with the chicken staring them in the face. Okay, so Clormok is going after, and then the other 2 are going before. So, once again, she fires off her crossbow, hoping to hit better this time. No, not really. Well, 3 successes. That's not too bad. And it's rolling 4 dice defense. Nope, 2. It takes 1 damage. Hands of Power. He gets only use that so many times a day. Number of times per day equal mutation power level. He does have a 4 in it, so he can use it again if he wants. But this time he's going to walk up and try to smash it with his Warhammer, because he doesn't want to take the chance of hitting his friend with the attack. So he moves up, takes his move, and then takes an action. Oh wait, he goes after. Sorry, goes after. So Cherry Red has already put her pistol in his holster. She whips the battle axe off her back and takes a swing. She gets 5D for that, and she gets 2 successes. And the Gallus, only eliminates 1. She does some damage to the big creature. It attacks her again with its twin machetes. 5 dice, hitting on 4s. Only 1 success. Cherry Red tries to catch it on her shield. And she does. No damage from the machetes. They keep clanging against her shield. Clang, 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 clang. Now, our boy Clormok steps up with his Warhammer. He's got 5 dice for that Warhammer attack. Nope, 4 dice. And he hits 3 successes. Pretty good. Woo! No negations. It's a solid hit, folks. So 3 damage. Squawks in pain. See what I did there? And now it's initiative. Okay. And woo! Cherry Red goes last. Set back on her heels after that last attack, I guess. Well, Clormok is wielding that Warhammer again, and he gets 2 successes. And the creature saves one of them, takes yet another point of damage. It's starting to reel pretty badly. It is pretty damaged. All right, moving on to She Lets Fly with a crossbow. Three successes, and the Gallus saves at 4D and saves two of them, takes one more, but that's enough to bring it down as the crossbow bolt hits it in the head, and the Gallus drops. So it has twin machetes, which Chlormok takes, and we'll see if it has any other loot. All right. So go to my trusty 4th edition Gamma World book, and all right, so we're just gonna give it loot type A. 75% chance of having loot, and it has loot. Each loot categories, so it has Domar, so that's the that is the bottle caps if you're a Fallout fan. It's I believe in 4th edition Gamma World they made it credit cards or Domars, which is the currency in the Wastelands. Let's see if it has any junk. Yes, some junk as well. No baubles, no curiosities, and a possible artifact by text. 75%. Yes, 75% chance of having an artifact. And no, 16. So no artifact, just the machetes. That's pretty close. And then, so it has 1d10 times 10 Domars. So 70 Domars. So make a note of that. And then they also had some junk. 1d4 junk. And that's 2 junk. So we'll go to our junk table. And we shall roll. 47. It has a locket hanging from its neck. All right, they take it. And a pencil sharpener, manual one. So they take those things, locket, pencil sharpener. Obviously, they don't know what the pencil sharpener is, but they recognize the locket as jewelry, so that's interesting. They'll have to figure out the pencil sharpener, what it could possibly be for. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to roll to see if they come upon a ruin. Because ruins are so plentiful around here, they come upon a ruin on a 5 or 6. And no ruin. So we go 3 more encounters. Yeah. What was it? 1's encounter? It's just 1 and 6. All right, let me re-roll. 6s are encounters. No encounter. No encounter. Good thing 1s aren't encounters. No encounter. Let's see if they get 5 or 6. Yes, they stumble upon a ruin. All right. So I have these tiles, and I'm going to find a tile that looks like an entrance. As close as I can get to an entrance. I think there were entrance tiles. I kind of randomized them, not thinking about what I wanted to do. I think there was definitely, tell you what, yeah, here we go. This looks good. So they come upon a ruin that is overgrown and it has 2 metal doors. So they are going to come up to the metal doors. They need to search and see if they can find their way in. Cherry Red, she's pretty muscular. She goes, I'm going to try to open this door by myself. You guys cover my back. He's got his hands of power ready. and she has her crossbow ready. They're standing back a little further than you can see here. So she's going to make a strength test. It's pretty strong. She's going to have to, you need a 6+ to open it up. Oh, she gets it. She gets a 6. All right. Well, not 6+, a 6. You can't have a plus. So she manages to reach open the doors. Let's see if there's anything there waiting for her. All right, so what I decided to do was, for the randomization of monsters, I'm using my dungeon deck, but only those cards that have monsters indicated on them, no matter what it looks like. Because if there's a monster indicated, oh, there's a monster waiting for him right inside the door. So we will randomly determine what kind of monster that is. Ooh, 20. So, you know, she opens the door and standing on the other side. That's kind of boring and doesn't make any sense, so we're going to make it that. There is a security robot. It's humanoidish, and it has arms, armor, and a lightning gun. Yeah, it has like a big tube on its shoulder. We're going to see if it's active. We're going to say that there is a 1 in 6 chance that they have disturbed it. So on a 1, now on a 1, they will activate it. Nope, it is remaining dormant, but they're a little bit scared. Living metal can be a problem. Living metal is what they used to call robots in Game World 4th edition, which is really the edition I grew up with. I mean, well, no, I had 1st edition, 2nd edition. I guess I call living metal in 2nd edition. Somebody remind me of that in the comments. Anyway, 4th edition was the one that really just solidified everything for me, but the 1st and 2nd edition are awesome too. I had a 3rd edition, but then it was missing tables, and we returned it to KB Toys. So anyway, so they're going to enter in the room. Infravision, Kathmandu has infravision, so she's going to go in first to see if there's anything in there. So she enters in and she looks. I'm going to take off the bottom. She looks left and she finds looks like a room. She does not disturb the robot. And then there is like a end to her. So here she might be, yeah, so there's an end down there. Now we're going to see if there is anything to her left. That is a 1 on a d6. Yes, there's something off to the right. Let's see if it jumps at her. And ooh, and yes, it is the classic. Rather standing about 6 to 7, 8 feet tall are 2 dog-like humanoids. For you Gamma World folks out there, these are arcs. And they let out barking, and their tongues are lolling. They were working on these 2 panels, and they turn around when they sense her behind them. And they actually have a light. They have a lantern, and they turn and she sees them. They unhood it, and there's some ambient lighting, and she's like, uh-oh. So let's see if she sees anything down here. More than likely, because the arcs are here, we're going to say there's nothing here, and they didn't activate the robot, which is up against this wall here. So we're going to roll initiative. She's like, arcs, which they know what arcs are, having lived in this world. So all right, so they all are going to act before the dogmen. Arcs are relatively nasty because they have life leech, which they can use with their morning stars. Any kind of physical contact with a weapon, if you have life leech, you're able to suck it through the weapon. It's like a conduit, or through your hands. So they will suck life from you when they hit you, and then they heal. That's what life leech does. So drains bioenergy from a target. They're going to be making strength melee attacks, and if they get a hit, they do 1d3 stamina damage in addition to the normal hits. So it's very nasty, sucking that much stamina out of them, and it heals them. They can use it a number of times per day equal to their mutation level. Arcs have a mutation level of 2 dice, so they can use it twice each. The power level is 2 dice. So Kathmandu screams arcs, and she decides that she's gonna fire a crossbow and then move back out through the doors that they came through. So she fires her crossbow. She has a 5D with that crossbow, and she hits two. She has 3 successes, and the arcs they have leather armor and shields and morning stars. So 4 dice. So it blocked one of them and takes 2. So one of them takes 2. The other one is not struck yet. All right, and then she moves there. Next up is going to be our mutant Cormac. He goes up and he's got Hands of Power 3 more times to stay, and he fires it at the one that seems to have a crossbow bolt sticking out of its arm, and he unleashes his Hand of Force Power, and it hits on 3+, and it does additionals on 4+. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. It has to save against 7. And it saves only 1, so it takes 6 damage. Boom! Breaking some ribs. But he's stuck there in the hall. Cherry's going to go here, fire her pistol at the wounded one, and then go back out. Because you can move your movement, do something, and move back. And she's not nearly moved that. So she's going to fire off at the arcs. Her pistol, which I believe she has a 5D. 4D with the pistol. And woof, missed. That's a whiff. And then she steps back out of the way. The arcs advance on our boy Cormac, and they attack him with their morning stars. And they are brutal fighters, so they get additional successes on 5+. Not to mention, they're going to activate their life leech, each of them. So this could be the end. We'll see. So here we go. All right, so this will be this one, and this will be this one. They attack with 4 dice. No, 5 dice, because they're pretty strong. And they can also slash and bite and so forth. So here they go. Extra successes on 5s. And, oh, wow, that was pretty fortuitous. Okay, so he's got to resist 2 there and 2 there. So here we go. He's got armor, Kevlar vest. And so, good. So the first one, he avoids any kind of damage. The second one, he takes 1 damage, which is 1 damage plus a D3. So 1. So he takes, I didn't say which one was the wounded one. So we'll 50% chance of wounded one. Anyway, so he does that. He takes 2 damage. So that's not terrible. All right, so he is this one. So he's down to 9. And then we'll see the orange or the black is the one that's wounded. So orange, 1, 2, 3, it's orange. 4, 5, 6, it's black. Okay, 5, 6, black. So he heals 1 from his life leech because he did 1 point damage. Okay, initiative. All right. Ew. So Kathmandu goes after. Coral Mark goes before, and Cherry Red goes before. They're right in Cormac's face, so he brings up his Warhammer and strikes at the wounded one. He gets 4 dice on that Warhammer. He gets 2 successes. Well, the wounded one is the black die. And he absorbs those attacks, no problem. Shield, catches on the shield. And then that's that. And then Cherry Red can now see them. She's going to shoot. So yeah, we'll see. She's going to fire at the one that's wounded. She fires off pistol. And she got only one success. Oh, that's ugly. One success is ugly. So the creature easily avoids the attack. And then she's going to move a little more behind her friend here into this room, into the hallway. And then it's going to be Kathmandu fires off a crossbow. Hopefully, oh wait, Kathmandu goes after. Yeah, Kathmandu goes after. So Kathmandu's not going to do squat right now. They're both going to attack him again. They get 5 dice. The wounded one is the black dice. Oh my goodness gracious, that was much worse. All right, so he has to save 3 here, and he has to save 6 here. Woo! Let's do the 3 first. And he does. He saves the 3. Very cool. Very, very cool. And then he has to save 6. Woof. There we go. And he saves 3 of the 6. So he takes 3. Okay. That could be worse. It could get worse here. So that takes that away. But now he takes an additional D3. That might be too powerful for game. I might have to make it 1 damage. It sucks an additional damage for each one. That might be better, but we'll see what this does to him. 1, 2, 4 more damage. So he is still hanging on by a thread, but it heals that creature. It heals it 4 life, so he is in pretty bad shape. Nobody has healing hands in this party, so they're going to have to rest after this before they go further into this ruin, because who knows what else is in here. All right, so now it is her turn. She fires off a crossbow at the wounded one. Hopefully, this is a good shot. 5 dice, I believe, with her crossbow. Yes. And it's not too bad, not too bad. 4 successes. Let's see how well this thing rolls. Oh, 3 successes, so it only takes 1 damage. All right, well, he is not going to be able to mess around. He's going to have to use his 3rd hand of force of 4. So anyway, but that's what he's going to do. So now we roll initiative. Boom. They all go before. Okay. All right, well, he's going to hand of force the one right in front of him. He's going to put his hand right in its face and unleash his mutational power at this thing. So, yeah, it can either be a melee attack. It can either be agility or strength, because it is a melee attack, and the hand is considered a light weapon. So that means you can use agility plus a die, or, yeah. So it's, and he's got a 3 power, or he's got a 4 power, so it's actually, so, oh, yeah, so 6 dice. Hitting on 3s and extra successes on 4+. So there you go. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 damage on that one. And he saves 1 of them, which is 8, which is enough to finally drop him. He only has 1 more hand of power. I call him the hand of force because it's force power. Anyway, left on the day. So Cherry Red takes out her battle axe, moves up and attacks the other arc, maybe trying to draw some attack away from her wounded friend. Like Cherry Red is this one. 5 dice. Ooh, pretty good. 4 successes. All right. So let's see how well this arc does. This one's not wounded 2. He takes off 2 successes, so he takes 2 damage. All right. And a crossbow bolt goes flying at him. Ooh, so 3 successes. And he saves 2 and takes 1 damage. He is barking in pain and anguish that his brother has been killed. And now he attacks. He wants Clormok dead. So he attacks. So 4 successes. Clormok has a 4D. And he saves all 4. Sweet. Not able to get through that Kevlar vest. Boom. Maybe a cracked rib, but no damage. I guess it's just wearing on his stamina. There you go. Which is good because he could go down any moment. All right, initiative. All right. So, is he desperate enough to use a hand of force? We'll see. Oh, good. Whew. Oh, Clormok goes last. Oh, so does Cherry Red. So only Catmandu goes first. Crossbow out. 1 success. Oh, this is ugly. And it easily dodges that crossbow bolt. And now it attacks our boy, Clormok. Oh, this could be ugly. With its Morningstar and Life Leech. Oh. Only 2 successes. Will this luck continue to hold? Yes, 2 successes negated. Kevlar coming in clutch. Now he strikes back with his Warhammer. 2 successes. And it negates 1. And then, woohoo! Cherry Red with her battle axe. 2 successes, man. And it negates that damage. She's not able to get through its defenses. All right. Yeah, right? Yeah. I think that's it. All right, next round. Initiative. All right. They all go before. They all go before the critter this time. So it's going to be... We'll wait and see if we need a hand. So she's going to battle axe it. Cherry Red's going to battle axe it. That's better. 4 successes. Let's see if that does anything. Let's see how well he dodges. And he dodges 3 of them. Woo, whittling away, whittling away. The stamina is immense. Gonna do crossbow. And that's terrible. 1 success. Easily catches on a shield. And then it's... Should he Hands of Power it? Or should he just... He's gonna Warhammer it. Oh, feels like he should do Hands of Power. 3 successes. Not terrible. It's not going to end this thing, but it might do some damage. Nope. No damage at all. And it's going to strike at him. Can his luck hold out? Woo, my gosh, yes. 2 successes. And, haha. Yes, Clormok stands strong. All right. So, initiative. They all go before the creature again. So, once again, we are going to... She's going to battle axe it. And she gets 3 successes. And he gets 2 successes and takes 1 more damage, just whittling away at him. He is furiously blocking with that shield. And crossbow. Oh my gosh. Complete and total miss. Oh boy. All right. And then him, he's gonna swing with his Warhammer. Oh my gosh, complete and total miss. And the creature swings at him because he's the one that killed his brother. Morningstar to the head, possibly. So, 4 successes getting through. Let's see if they get through, I mean. So 2 of them get through. So he takes 2 damage and... Ooh. That's 4, 5. All right, so... He only has 2 remaining. So he goes down, and it only heals 2, because you can't heal more than what you don't have. He's down. He'll have to make a death save on his turn, or die. So could lose him. Could lose a creature first movement into this ruin. All right, ancient ruin. So that brings us now to light crossbow. I don't think Kathmandu has attacked. She attacks. Kathmandu is not attacked, so Kathmandu is going to attack. Light crossbow as he fells her friend. 3 successes. Will that be enough? Nope. Catches on its shield. So here we go. Initiative. No, wait, the creature's got to attack. No, he did attack. Oh well. So that didn't happen. So we'll go to initiative. He doesn't roll initiative. He just automatically goes after the creature for his death save. Oh my gosh, she failed. She didn't. So she's going to run up despite that, and she's going to try to put a bandage on his bleeding, pierced hole from the Morning Star. She has to make a mind test to do it, so to see if she knows how to heal and put down I think it's a mind test. Death and dying in my rule set. Use item action. I'm gonna say, because it's like medical, you need to have in mind. She knows something about binding wounds, but she has a one die to be able to do this. And because it's under duress where there's a active creature, I'm gonna make she needs a 6 to actively staunch the bleeding. Oh, doesn't get it. So that's not enough. All right, and then she, Cherry Red, is gonna take a swing with her battle axe, try to take this guy down. And only gets 2 successes. Ugh. Oh, doesn't save any. Not enough to kill it, but ooh, nice woundings. All right. She does some damage, draws its attention. And so it attacks her with its Morning Star. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Woo, only 2 successes. Oh, no, wait, only 1 success. 1 success? Nice. Cherry Red's defense is 5D. And actually avoids the attack. All right, so now he has to make a death save. His strength is 2D. He needs to get a 4. And he doesn't. And he dies in Kathmandu's hands. No! So they've lost one of their own. All right, so initiative. So, hey, the Wastelands is a dangerous place, folks. All right, so I may have to tweak that life leech mutation now. It's a little much, but that's okay. It's all good for this game. All right, so they go before the creature. She gets crazy with her claws and attacks with her claws because she can't take it. Her friend has been slain in front of her, so her crossbow goes down and strapped. She has a short sword, but she decides to attack with her claws instead. So 5 dice with her claws. And ooh, 4 successes. Pretty good. And it saves 2 of them, takes 2 damage. Still up, still fighting this arc. They're tough creatures. They're tough customers. And Cherry Red with her battle axe. Ooh, nice. 5 successes. Where have you been all night? So it saved 2. It takes 3. That's enough to drop it. So they've dropped it. So they have Morning Stars and stuff. They're going to check the loot quickly, make sure there's nothing over here. I said there was nothing over here. We don't know what could be coming down the hall drawn by the fight. Could be something coming around the corner any minute. So to do a very quick loot. I'm just going to give them the same A kind of thing. There is no Domars. There are no items. Wait, 75%. You got to roll. I was trying to roll over. Oh well. Yeah, math and I, you know, how math works, you know, that's an interesting thing. So, okay. So there are Domars. We'll say that there isn't, since there was last time, and then we'll see if there's junk here. 75%, or it's artifacts is 75% chance. 70 or 47. So that does count as an artifact, but they don't have the other stuff because I'm evening it out with the last encounter because I messed up the roll. So let's see what we can find here. So go to the artifact table. One artifact, by the way. And tech level artifacts. We are going to say that they are... All right, so there are 6 tech levels in 4th edition Gamma World / my game. So we'll roll a d6 to see which tech level it is. Oh, tech level 5. Let's see what this thing has in its pack. A d20. 9. It has a rifle over its back. Looks like a rifle of the ancients. 50% chance to have ammunition. 78. It does not have any ammunition, but they're going to take the rifle that counts as an artifact for their quest for the rite of passage. If they can find the proper, they have to figure it out. They need 3 successes. They need 3 successes on a mind test. I figured out my rules and how I was going to do that. Figuring out artifacts. You know, because it's a classic. You know, you got to have some way to figure out the stuff. And I believe I don't think I've written it down yet, but I think in the works is to figure out tech. They roll. Yeah, they have to make 3 mind tests, successful mind tests of 5+ difficulty number. If they fail one of their tests and they roll any 1s on the dice, then they break it, and you roll another d6, and if they roll another 1, then it blows up in their face. Otherwise, it's just broken if not. That's the rules I've had in my head. I need to write those down, but at least they're still in my head. So they grab the rifle, they dragged a friend out of this ruin, and they are going to camp for the night. And I think I'm going to end it there, kind of a cliffhanger. Will they make it? You know, they got 1 item. They need to get another item, a relic. That rifle looks sufficiently advanced to fulfill their mission. So they're going to be camping outside, and that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. So if you have any suggestions for playtesting, or you know, I'm pretty sure the life leech I'm going to have to tweak, as I said. The system seems to be working pretty robustly, as it does with 6 Dice Fantasy. Adjusted stamina seems to be holding up, but then again, if somebody had Hands of Power, I mean, he was doing like 9 damage against the creature, so the creatures that are attacking them, if they have Hands of Power at some point, that could get really ugly. But you know what, that's the Wastelands for you, right? It's a very dangerous place, and I kind of want that to be simulated. So don't get too attached to your characters, I guess, is what I'm just going to say. So I'm going to see where I'm going to go from here. Will these 2 continue on by themselves? Will they run into a traveler who may join their party? Who knows? Find out next time on this edition of Tonight on Magehammer's Game Table. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your comments. All the constructive criticism is always welcome. Just compliments, just saying hi, any of it's great. I just love the interaction with other gamers. So once again, folks, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show, and as always, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Magehammer out.